Can't Be Influenced, where we talk about news and influencers, from celebrity to social media. Let's get into it. Hello, my beautiful, wonderful, fantastic, irreplaceable listeners. Before we start this podcast episode, there's something I want to kind of tap into or dip into. It's a little update on Alexis Sharkey. If you've been staying up to date or not, there's something I need to say because I'm not very happy with it. Okay, so before we get into all of it, let me just give a refresher. I'm sure you all know, but Tom is the husband, okay? Let me just say, this is coming from Alexis's friend. This is a direct quote from her. Alexis's friend said, Tom texted my boyfriend. 11 p.m. is when my boyfriend John called Tom and said, what's going on, Tom? And he said, me and Lex got into an argument and she left. I don't know where she went. Can you just please let me know if you know anything? So this whole case is still undergoing investigation, of course. And I'm very curious to know what the heck is going on. Because it seems very odd that she was in the state that she was in when she was found on the side of the road like that. So I've kind of been brainstorming, thinking like, what could have happened? So I've been reading that the husband, Tom, was trying to say that they didn't get in an argument, but a lot of her friends say they were. So basically what we said in the last episode, nothing has really changed, but it's just super weird. Now there's posts that she's involved in a pyramid scheme through Monat, which I won't even feed into because that shouldn't even be an issue or topic right now. Seriously, how disgraceful are these news articles and places that are showing that kind of content? Are you really that desperate? Again, I'll leave the donate button in the description to help her family out with the funeral services, and my condolences to her and her family. And you know, it's not even the fact that she was either a well-known name or an influencer. It's the fact that she's a human being, and this isn't right. Now let's move on. This is our topic lineup for the day. So we're going to talk about the PlayStation 5 craze. And there's some funny stories on that. So hopefully that will brighten you up, lift up your spirits. And then a data scientist's house gets raided. So let's get into all of it right now. Okay, on the website destructoid.com, there's a Reuters report saying that there's a good reason why the PlayStation 5 pre-orders flew off the shelves. Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan explains that the PS5 pre-orders in the first 12 hours of availability matched PlayStation 4's pre-order numbers over its first 3 months. That's how popular the PlayStation 5 is. And I know you all know about that because it's everywhere. Now, Ryan points out the obvious by saying the demand, as expressed by the level of pre-order, has been very, very considerable. It took PlayStation 5 half a day to do what the PlayStation 4 took 90 days to do. So why is this so popular? Well, because it's a brand new machine using cutting-edge technology, whereas the PlayStation 4 Pro was built upon the foundations of the existing PlayStation 4 and was considered a mid-gen update. So it's just popular, but let's not stick to the boring stuff here. Okay, maybe you don't find it boring, but I'd rather just keep going. So on to the fun stuff, the funny stories. Okay. To start this off, there was this really, it's kind of funny, but it's also kind of sad in a way. But there's this guy, I read this a couple days ago, but he bought the PlayStation 5 and his wife didn't want him to buy it because it's super expensive. I don't know. They were like selling for thousands of dollars, weren't they? So he told his wife it was an air purifier. And so freaking funny because the PlayStation 5 looks like this air purifier. Oh my gosh. If for the not the audio version, I'll try to put a picture up in the YouTube on the YouTube platform because guys, if you're listening to this on the podcast, this is also on YouTube, but I mean, it's still image. I'll try to get on camera. I have all the setup to do that. So let me know if that's something you want. Actually, get at me. Let me know. But yeah, they look so similar. So that's what he told his wife. It was an air purifier or whatever, air humidifier. And the wife eventually found out, and guess what she did? She freaking sold it. That is low to just go and just undersell it like that. I feel bad for the guy. But again, there's people out there who don't even have food. So how bad can I really feel? Now, Kind of branching off from that, someone posted a picture on Board Panda of their humidifier saying it's like the picture of their humidifier and then it's kind of it's a meme type of thing, but saying they don't know what the big hype is because they've had theirs for months now on the PlayStation 5 because they look so similar. Now others are posting the PlayStation 5 next to skyscrapers saying that it's just another building because it looks so elegant. And then I saw one where they put the PlayStation 5 on a duck's bill, which kind of really didn't make too much sense unless it just went over my head. So the PlayStation 5 design is cool, but like what this one guy said, he said if you turn it on its side, it looks like an expensive campus performing arts center that costs like $60 million. Now I'm going to play a sound clip from something I found kind of funny, and it's about this guy posted something he saw on eBay, and I'm just going to let you listen to it real quick.
There are a lot of PS5 scalpers out there today. I went on eBay just a little while ago to see what they were selling for, and I found a guy named Ryan who just sold his PS5 for a whopping $1,950, or so I thought. Turned out it was only the box and no console. The condition says unopened, original packaging, but in the seller's details it says no console, just the box. Ryan was just trying to sell his PS5 packaging for $99.99 with $20 shipping. Turns out some people must not have read past the first couple words and started bidding like crazy, thinking they could get that sweet, sweet PS5 before Christmas time. 56 bids later, and Ryan is rolling in dough. Is this wrong? Not if people can't read. Hopefully the buyer in California doesn't want to return, because Ryan is not accepting any.
Okay, so in the video, what he was doing was he had a screen share or whatever on over eBay, and he was just showing the box and the seller and how much they were selling it for, and then how it was clearly stated right there that it was just the box. But then in the description, it does say nothing about like it not really being the product, and it like he was saying it was never opened. First off, why even try to sell an empty PlayStation box? Why? Just why? That makes no sense to me unless you are trying to be scammy about it. There's no logical reason why you're going to post an popular, super popular, everybody's trying to get after it box of a product that is that popular. So the comments on the clip are, I don't think you guys get it. I doubt that guy is actually going to be forced to pay that much for a box. He literally cannot be forced to do so. The listing is super misleading as a product cannot be new, sealed, and in mint condition. If you open the box to take whatever it is in the box, ultimately, even if eBay tried to force him to buy it, he could just remove his card details off the website, start a new account, and try again. The fact that people are acting like this man copped a box for nearly $2,000 baffled me. So yeah, he made a point. New, sealed, and in mint condition. In the description, I think that's what it was. New, sealed, and in mint condition. So, but the box is opened. So that's a very misleading title, and he can get in trouble for that, actually. And the fact that it doesn't do, there's no refunds on that, bull crap. eBay will have the customers back, I'm pretty sure, on this one, since the title was so misleading. And that's a big chunk of money. Someone else said, I'm sure it's more complex than that. If eBay still requires a PayPal account, then the transaction may have gone through instantly. Getting in contact with eBay customer service on this is going to take a long time, and they may possibly side with the seller. I'm not saying they should, I'm not saying they will, but I'm saying it is possible. The posting was very specific that it was a box, so it may be ruled that the buyer, quote unquote, knew what they were in for. I've had bad luck on eBay before selling and buying, and customer service is not always the best judge. Yeah, you know what? I don't really agree with that post because the title is very misleading. So the seller, I believe, can get in trouble and if not, get his shit banned, to be honest. So another comment said, if they rule that buyer must pay and the selling was not in the wrong in any way, I guess I can't be too mad at someone watching this unfold. If I was dumb enough to be the buyer, I'd be crushed. Also, very possibly that all these accounts are fake and that the seller bid on his own eBay post to see if anyone would join in to make him money. Impossible that the final bid was one of his fake accounts, but that would be crazy, right? Things like this make me want to sell my box, someone else said. Now, just for credit, the original audio clip that you listened to is from Zeno_bro. That's his Twitter handle. And I'll spell that out. XENO_bro. So what do you guys think? Do you guys know anyone who has the PlayStation 5, or do you have any crazy stories about it? Let me know. Did you hear about that eBay thing? That's the story that was on Reddit, by the way. And I just took a couple comments that were funny and stuff. So credit to all of them and all of that. But that was just a really funny one in my opinion. And not just funny, it was like crazy. I'm like, what the heck? All I know is that this PlayStation 5 stuff is just out of hand. It's absolutely nuts. Like, everybody's wanting it. It's selling for such high prices, and it's so low. If you're going to go on there and you're going to try to sell a box, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? So you guys use this also, not as just entertainment, but to warn others and yourself. Do not always trust eBay, and make sure you read everything. Okay? Not just the title, read both description, title, everything, and make a good decision. All right. We're going to move on to this woman who was fired, a scientist that was fired and in Florida, and she was raided by the police. Okay. After reading some news articles, I've got something from the Washington Post that reads, Florida police officers with guns drawn raided the home of an Outstead Health Department data scientist Monday morning, searching for the former agency employee's most powerful tools, her computer, her phone, and other hardware that supports the coronavirus website she set up, after accusing the state of manipulating its official numbers. Now that's a big deal. If she's wrong, which I don't think that she is, in my opinion, she seems to be pretty moral about all of this. Why? She just wants to help people. I don't see any ill intent. Why would somebody want to do this unless she's like off her rocker, which I'm kind of doubting that. Law enforcement officials allege the scientist, her name Rebecca Jones, and I'm going to refer to her as Jones. Jones may have also used the devices to hack into a health department website in November and to send an unauthorized message to Florida emergency personnel urging them to speak out against the state's pandemic response. She has denied the accusation, though. This is the latest clash between Jones and state officials, who have traded accusations since she was fired from the Florida State Department of Health this summer. Jones said she had refused to comply with agency requests she considered unethical, and she has accused the state of mismanaging a health crisis that has so far infected more than 1 million residents and killed nearly 20,000. After all of this, everything that happened to her, she decided to collect up all her crap and open up and start her own data portal, which when you try to follow the link, there's another post about it, and I try to click the link of where her portal is located, and it takes you to a thing trying to say this is Florida's old dashboard link, and then it gives you options to choose like new COVID desktop site or the old. So I cannot confirm what that exactly is. And I believe she's still up and running. I don't think they shut her down. Jones states that the Florida Department of Law Enforcement's raid, when they raided her, that it was an attempt to silence her work. I guess the officers had a warrant and were trying to call her at least 20 minutes in advance, letting her know that they had the warrant and that they're coming, they're going to be searching. They were even like outside her door. She finally let them in, and then she recorded some of it. And I'm going to show you the audio, I'm going to have you listen to the audio. Now, be forewarned that it's a little triggering if it depends on who you are, I guess, but she's kind of like screaming. She's a little over dramatic. So I just want you to know that. And yeah, here we go.
Come outside. Outside.
Who else is in the house, ma'am?
My 2 children and my husband.
Where's your husband at?
Calm down. Calm down.
You want the children now?
Call them all down.
Mr. Jones, come down the stairs. Now!
Police, come down now.
Search warrant.
Bring your
Come down the
children.
stairs.
My children!
Glenn, hang on, let me clear
He
behind you.
just pointed a gun at my children!
Okay, and then she, in that post where the audio can be found, the video and audio can be found, she also wrote out how they pointed a gun at her children too. So that really just triggered her. Obviously, that would me. The cops are seen entering the home and make her go outside. And you can hear that in the audio when they're like, step outside or get outside. Then about three of them, start towards the hallway. And that's when they start coming like towards the camera. They start walking towards the camera, and they're like looking up the stairs because there's a staircase right there. And I believe they seem to be calling out for her husband because they're saying Mr. Jones. She later said how they took everything that had sensitive info on the state in the state's corruption. The article also states she has alleged her ex-managers that they directed her to doctor up virus case data to downplay the risks of infection and death in the state. The health department has denied this, of course. So she's saying that they were trying to get her to floof up and play around with the numbers so they weren't even accurate. Like, they're just numbers to them. Let's just do something that sounds good, or what people want to hear, or this or that, or whatever they're trying to manipulate and do is what she's trying to say. She claimed that this happened to her because she was honest and good-natured, basically, and that this is what happens to like good, honest scientists like her that don't go down this path of listening and just listening to corrupt things and kind of go away. So she's like a whistleblower. So in a Monday evening interview with CNN, Jones repeatedly denied sending the message, saying, quote unquote, "I'm not a hacker." She warned current health department staffers who she has communicated with since her firing that DeSantis will know soon enough that you've been talking to me, so be careful. The raid, she said, was not a legitimate investigation, but a thinly veiled attempt by the governor to intimidate scientists. What can we say? We're not scientists. We're not up in this. I mean, guys, we don't know. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. I know I don't. Her attorney claims that the officers were too aggressive and that it was all unnecessary on how they handled coming into her home. Jones went on to say that having a gun to her face won't stop her, that she's getting a new computer and going to start getting back to work, keeping up with her portal. Now, her reason for creating her own portal or dashboard for the coronavirus was she said that she wanted to build an application that delivered data and helped people get tested and helped them get resources that they need from their community and that were accurate. She's 30 years old, by the way. I'm going to quote from the Washington Post again, where they say Jones' allegations about other managers' requests are serious. When she claimed that the ex-managers were trying to have her floof up the data, that's what they're talking about. She said that they asked her to delete data showing that some residents tested positive for the virus in January, even though DeSantis assured residents in March that there was no evidence of community spread. Jones also alleged that she was asked to manually change numbers to wrongly make counties appear to have met metrics for reopening. Oh boy. Jones' dashboard she created, and then Florida State's dashboard, they're different in very significant ways. Her dashboard says that 895,000 people approximately were tested Friday evening, whereas the state's dashboard listed the number of people tested as more than 1.3 million. Jones' death toll is slightly higher because she counts non-residents who died while they were in Florida, while the state does not. Which, okay, I'm trying to wrap my head around this right now. I'm thinking out loud. Is she counting people who it was just directly COVID related? Is that what she's counting? Or anybody that was in Florida that was a non-resident and died of other causes? That's where the difference that's where it would make a difference for me, I guess. If she's counting non-residents that came to Florida and they caught the virus and died in the hospital there or something like that, then I feel like that would be more accurate. And if the state's not doing that, then I feel like that is kind of a fault on them. That's my opinion. The case count on Jones' dashboard is also higher because it includes people who have tested positive for antibodies or proteins that indicate that the virus has been in someone's body. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has warned that antibody tests are not foolproof and that a higher percentage of positive results may be incorrect in areas where few people have had the virus. Now this year, I think I remember they were saying, or I just remember it being this way, that one of the ways they were testing was they test for the antibodies. I thought that's how they were doing it. So I just feel like maybe she is accurate. Please correct me if I'm wrong though, please. In Jones's eyes, she feels that having her data site and then the state's data site will provide a more accurate and better representation of what's going on and will help people have a better understanding of everything with the virus. She goes, if you're creating something that simply presents a very narrow view of a situation that's complex and nuanced, but affects everybody's lives, then you're not enabling them to take action, to take some semblance of control over what they're going through. She also claims she isn't giving up her dashboard and has every intention to keep it up and running. She wants to help keep people informed, and she'll keep it up as long as she can afford it and as long as people are enjoying it. She said that when there's a vaccine, she wants to put information on there too about it and how you can get it and just everything that she, as a scientist, believes people should know, what she believes people should know about it. There's even a GoFundMe page, you guys, that has accumulated over $245,000 in donations. I had just looked earlier this evening. By the time you're hearing this, probably more, with 5.2 thousand donors. It's titled Support Florida Scientist. In her donation page, in the description, it reads, "We need to unmix our money pots to make sure all rules are properly followed, all taxes properly paid, etc., etc." This GoFundMe page was set up to help Rebecca Jones, Florida whistleblower and scientist, pay her bills after she was fired for refusing to manipulate COVID-19 data for the Florida plan to prematurely open the state. And then they talk about, please donate to her. People aren't exactly lining up to hire a celebrity whistleblower. Rebecca plans to continue her work until she can find somewhere that is brave and bold and looking to gain an expert science communicator. Florida COVID Action is now a state LLC as we work to transition it to a legal B Corp, which is a social benefits corporation. Okay, so when I talked about that link, I said I clicked a link on a different article to go to her dashboard, and I said it pulled up some page saying that it wasn't in existence or giving me different other options is what it was, and that the old page wasn't really relevant anymore or whatnot. The options that it pulled up when I went to this link that was supposed to go to her dashboard, her portal that she made, it gave the option to go to the Florida COVID Action. So now it makes sense. So you can't, so that link does take, it did take me where it needed to go. So no, they did not shut her down. In the comments on the GoFundMe page, it says, "Thank you for showing the courage to fight for the truth." And another donor said, "The use of force and corruption to intimidate her was appalling. I'm so sorry you had to endure such an injustice in addition to be asked to lie before your termination. Thank you for your bravery and for your passion to seek the truth." Then another one said, "I donated because I can get reliable statistics on the COVID virus." Then another said, "I appreciate everything Rebecca has done standing up to DeSantis and working her butt off to produce what she has." She insisted that she did not launch the project out of spite or revenge, by the way. Her quote was, "It really is because I had to stop feeling sorry for myself and what happened to me, as unfair as it was, and to get back to doing what I wanted to do in the first place, which was help people." So we're going to close and wrap up on that. Give me your thoughts. Anytime you hear a topic here and you have any thoughts or deeper thoughts or opinions that you want to be heard out, direct message me on Instagram through either Can't Be Influenced or heather.renee.vo. Links will be in the description. They're always in the description. So go ahead and click them and reach out. We're going to move on to our next story, which is a really cool and exciting one. I found really cool, at least. And I hope you guys do too. Because according to MIT Technology Review, a capsule carrying asteroid rocks has successfully landed on Earth. It samples from the asteroid, and I don't know how to pronounce this very well, Ryugu. I'm going to just call it Rai for now, samples from asteroid Rai, which made it in safe, perfect condition. And this happened on December 6th, so Sunday. This was a 6-year mission. Freaking crazy. It was made by a Japanese spacecraft. And it made it to the asteroid Rye and back to the Earth, which is like 180 million miles away, according to MIT technology at least. It landed in South Australia in the wee hours of the morning. I think they said like 2 or 3 in the morning there. The sample was neatly and safely packaged when they found it and collected it, and they sent it off to Japan for studying. According to the site, MIT Technology, it says the significance of this, okay? It's only the second time in history that samples from an asteroid have arrived on Earth. The first was the original Hayabusa mission, but that managed to bring back only a few micrograms of asteroid dust. The hope is that the samples will help researchers understand the formation of solar system, including habitable worlds like Earth. Oh, that's cool. I hope we can figure something out. How cool would that be if we could just know that? Just from an asteroid. Piece of asteroid. Asteroids are like time capsules of ancient space history because their physical and chemical composition is much better preserved than a planet's, which changes over time. Planets change over time, right? So the asteroid Rye should also help us understand what kinds of elements and compounds might have been delivered to the early Earth by meteorite impacts. After dropping off its precious cargo, the Hayabusa 2, which is I think the spacecraft from Japan, it fired its engines again and now is traveling to asteroid 2001 CC21, well, okay, another asteroid, for a flyby in July 2026. Whew! And then a rendezvous with asteroid 1998 KY26 in July 2031. Holy crap! What can we expect next? Well, the capsule is set to be transported to Japan, where we will find out exactly how much asteroid material was gathered, and researchers can start to analyze it to see what clues it holds. So let's stay tuned on that. I know I'm going to. I'm very interested in that. Okay, guys, if you have any topics you wanted to talk about or you want to talk about in the future, you gotta let me know. Like I said, the links are in the description below, so reach out to me. Do not be afraid to do that. Also, before we go, I want to talk quickly about how you can win a $20 Amazon gift card for starting your own podcast through Buzzsprout. I host this podcast that you're listening to right now through Buzzsprout. I've tried other platforms, by the way, with other podcasts, and this has been my absolute favorite hosting platform. Oh my gosh, it's a lifesaver. First off, it's extremely affordable, and you do have the option to keep it free. But Buzzsprout does all the dirty work for you. It's super easy to get your podcast on like every directory out there, like iTunes, Google Podcast, Deezer, and so on. Whatever I'm missing, I know I'm missing a lot. It's just a lot, everywhere, everything. I also can make nifty little sound bites in literally less than a minute. They get emailed to me, and I can then download that bite and post it to social media. It's literally like a little sound bite, and it gives you like an image and all that, so you can post it to Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. Another cool thing about them is that you can easily get your podcast transcribed, and they're pretty accurate if you ask me how they transcribe it. You can enter in chapters, so if you have different topics and all that stuff, you can split up your podcast after you post it to their platform, so it's easier for your listeners to kind of browse through. I did that on one of my episodes. I'm going to do it on this one and the ones after as well, because it just makes it easier, I feel like, for all of you to be able to just go topic to topic, or if there's one topic you don't think may be very interesting, you want to go to the main topic and skip all the news stories, well, you can do that, and I'll make sure to do that in all my future episodes. I'll put chapters in there so you guys can easily find what topic you want to listen to. If you listen to the whole podcast, love you. Okay. Honestly, you guys, if you were just starting a podcast, Buzzsprout makes it easy. So if you've been thinking about starting one, I'm just saying, they're offering a $20 Amazon gift card once you start and have uploaded 2 podcast episodes. So honestly, I can't recommend them enough, especially for beginner podcasters. They just set you up for success. Okay. All right, guys. All the goods are in the description below. Follow the podcast on Instagram, and please rate us on iTunes. It just helps so much when you do that. Also, don't be afraid to reach out to me through our Instagram page, I Don't Bite, and let me know either how we are doing or if you have any recommended topics or suggestions. Whatever it is, I'm here. Be safe out there. Really quick before I go, actually, I just wanted to hop back on. I want to know when you guys listen to the podcast, because I know there's some really avid listeners out there. When you guys listen to the podcast, what are you doing? I want to know more about my listeners so I can create better content for you. Okay. I just love researching and talking and creating these. I love editing and recording and all of everything that goes into this. I love everything about it. So I'm doing this for you guys and I'm enjoying it as well. I want to know more about my listeners. So I'd really appreciate it if you guys just reached out to me and let me know what you like hearing, what you're into. Do you listen to the podcast when you're doing dishes or when you're at work? Do you have like work headphones in? Do you listen to it in the car? Do you listen to it to sleep? Let me know. Okay, now I'm really going to go this time. Bye, guys. All right, guys. Until next time.
Looking out with no parents.